Yes, a very beautiful Tuesday afternoon and welcome to Chan 2024. I'm Katila Meisi and of course I am not alone. Niko na 3 times super sub, Arsenal diehard, Gyökeres.
Gyökeres.
Eh?
Gyökeres.
Hey, Innocent Motiso, wacha tumalize. Innocent Motiso and of course my colleague, Alan Nzuki. Hey, the only Kamba guy, the only black Kamba guy. Guys, mmekuwa poa? Mmekuwa poa?
Kofiti.
Well, we all know semi zinachezwa leo. Madagascar is facing Sudan. And Madagascar, this is the second consecutive semi-final. Yeah, second consecutive. Madagascar has been doing good. And I think what walikuwa wanajua, since tumeipiga, they won't make it to the semi-finals. But we also, what is happening, and today they're facing Sudan. Also, Sudan is not an easy team because haijakuwa ni mbaya sana. So let me start with you, Nzuki. Madagascar. What's your take on Madagascar?
Madagascar is a very good team. You know, people forget that last time, for them to be knocked out of the semi-final, they were beaten by Senegal 1-0, who were the eventual winners. So heading into this game, Madagascar are the clear favorites. Yes, Sudan play better football, they can attack, but Madagascar have the experience. If you look at what they did to us in Kasarani, the composure in front of the home fans, they have the experience, they're in familiar territory, they know how to play the game when it matters, so they're absolutely good at what they do. So heading into this game against Sudan, don't rule out Sudan, but I do think Madagascar have the better edge because they're in familiar territory. And last time after making it to the semi-final and getting that place after beating Niger 1-0, I do think they have the better chance of showcasing their class. Yes, Sudan have the hunger, but it will come down to who can be composed when it matters the most. And when it comes down to that, Madagascar are very composed, very good under pressure, very resilient, and also very mentally upright. So I do think Madagascar will take the win. It won't be easy, probably go to penalties or maybe a 1-0 win. Depends, we're waiting to see.
I'd like to disagree with my friend Alan.
Even before you talk,
No.
something about
I'd like
Sudan beats Niger.
Yeah.
Please, mwambie vile iko. Is it Niger?
Niger. It's Niger.
You're saying something, you're saying.
Yes, it's Niger. Pronunciation is very important.
Very.
Mutiso.
Because they are watching.
No, Mutiso. Let me tell you something. It's Niger. But when I'm saying it in my own country, in my own language, it's Niger. You don't tell a British to say Kenya. They say Kenya.
Well, it's a French-speaking country, and it's Niger. We move forward from that.
Let's move forward. That argument that's outside. Okay, what's your take on Madagascar and Sudan?
I think he's misleading the public because Kenya versus Madagascar, Kenya were the better team by far. We had 17 shots towards goal against 10 for Madagascar. We had 5 shots on goal. They had only 2 shots on goal,
exactly,
of which one of them was a penalty and a goal. So one of their goalkeepers, Ramindi Bisoa, Michel, for me, he was one of the contenders of the man of the match in that game. He was on his day. And it's not because that Madagascar defended so well. It was a matter of Harambee Stars not being that clinical in front of goal. No. This was our best match by far. Against DRC, we did not dominate that game. Against Morocco, we did not dominate that game. Against Angola, we never dominated that game. Against Zambia, it was 50-50. But in this game, it was our best showing. We had our most shots on target. We had our most final third entries in that game. We were the better side in that game. And you could see the reaction of the Madagascar players, the Madagascar fans. You could see their reaction of the full-time whistle. They just lied down flat. Not even celebrating, they just lied down flat because Kenya took the game to them.
The question is, who has qualified for the semi-finals?
Yeah, I know.
Does not
I know they qualified for the
semi-finals.
Let
him finish first.
I know they qualified for the semi-finals.
Okay.
And I believe that Harambee Stars, we were the better team on that day.
I don't disagree.
They had some defensive resilience. And going into this match against Sudan, who I believe they are just more than playing for football, because they've had a war for the past almost 3 years in their country. And their main teams, Al Merreikh and Al Hilal, they've been forced to play their club matches outside their country in Mauritania, where Al Hilal were lucky enough to win that title in Mauritania in front of all the other favorites in that country. And I believe for Sudan, I had the coach Kwesi up here, and he was talking about whenever they play, the guns go silent for a week or two. This is more than football for them.
I understand.
They are going there for the glory. They've seen, he's talked about football being a unifying factor in their country. I know that Sudan, this will be their third time getting into the semi-finals.
Exactly.
And I believe that they want to go all the way.
But don't...
Those players, he said that almost on a weekly basis, they hear about one of the players losing a relative. And you could see that the people who have been displaced in their country, they converge somewhere in those refugee camps to watch those games. So you can see it's more than football for them. And Sudan will be the better team in that day, or this evening. I believe that they will beat Madagascar on normal time, not even going to the extra time. They will beat them on normal time. Sudan, they've been exceptional in this tournament. They beat Nigeria 4-0, who are giants in Africa. They beat Algeria. They beat Algeria. And if you saw the game, you could see that there was dominance from Sudan. They had 16 attempts towards goal, as opposed to Algeria with 11. So I believe that Sudan will carry the day this evening against Madagascar. It's a total mismatch. I don't think that Madagascar will really give Sudan a run for their money.
Now, before Alan, I saw you wanted to say something, but before you say, let me talk to the viewers back at home who are watching us. And just a question of the day, back at home, who do you think, which teams do you think will play in the finals for CHAN 2024? All right. Now, nataka turudi back to this discussion, the semi-final. We'll have a second semi-final too, whereby you've had Alan here is saying Madagascar will win, and Innocent is saying Sudan is the better team. Now, we have another match, a very big match, Morocco and Senegal, all right? Morocco have won this tournament twice, and also Senegal, the giants of Africa, as we know.
Champions.
Yeah, they are the defending champions currently. Now, to this, Alan, you wanted to answer him first, and then we come to Morocco and Senegal?
Allow me to answer him first. First of all, I agree with him on one thing. Sudan will have the better game tonight. They will play better possession, better attacks, because one thing people forget is that Sudan have qualified for the African Cup of Nations with almost the same players who are playing in this CHAN, because the squad comprises mainly of Al Hilal and Al Merreikh. Yes, Mutiso. So they do have the players, they do have the quality to produce magical moments. However, Mutiso, I want you to understand what I'm saying when I say they won't qualify. It's not because Madagascar will outplay Sudan. It's because when it matters, Madagascar will take their chance. That's the difference between Madagascar and Sudan. Okay. Sudan needed 17 shots to get one goal. The most in this tournament fired on goal.
Against Algeria.
Exactly.
In Africa.
When it comes to CHAN, there's nothing like giants. In fact, when it comes to, we beat Morocco. Are they not giants? I'm just saying, Madagascar will not dominate the game.
Okay.
You know, but the difference between Kenya and Madagascar on that day, it was pure luck. We had a correct goal disallowed because of VAR. I believe VAR was not used to perfection that day.
All right.
That penalty, it was too harsh for Kenya because the proximity of the kicker of the ball and the Kenyan defender, it was too near. There was no time to react.
Yes.
It was too near. So I believe if the VAR was used to perfection, that our goal would have stood, because it's similar. If Katela here is a Manchester United fan, against Fulham, when Lenny Yoro went up, he pushed Calvin Bassey. But it was a replica, exactly the same, a replica as the Kenyan one, where Ogam finished with a header. So I believe it was pure luck, and I don't think luck will strike Madagascar again tonight. Tonight, it will be an overhaul for Sudan. They will beat Madagascar fair and square. I don't think they'll be lucky twice.
Let's move to Morocco and let's move to Morocco and Senegal. Alan.
Okay, now this one.
That's a very tough match.
Okay, I do think it's tough on paper.
It's very tough.
It's tough on paper,
yes.
But when it comes to the ground,
okay.
If you're a football fan, you know what to expect. Morocco will play the beautiful game that they like. They'll play the tiki-takas. But one thing about Senegal, throughout the tournament, they've done the same thing. They've parked the bus, they let you come, and then now when you come and you're vulnerable to them, now they strike at you. That's what they did in the quarterfinals, and they're very clinical in front of goals. Remember, they have the fewest shots in the whole knockout stages. Imagine having the fewest shots and you're here in the semi-final. Let me remind you one thing. This Senegal team won against Algeria last time out in their own home ground in the final. So they have the mentality and they have the coach, you know. The coach knows what he wants to the team. They're not going to play beautiful football, but when you just calm down for a minute, they're going to strike at you. So I do think Morocco will possess the game. They're going to play the beautiful game, probably go to extra time, but I do think when it's all said and done, Senegal will be in the finals again.
I think this evening we'll be disagreeing on everything.
What's your take on that, Mutiso?
On paper, both teams are very strong, but then again, when you look at the games both teams played, Morocco have been growing in stature since day one. Yes, I know that game they lost against Kenya, Harambee Stars. It was 1-0. But then again, when you look at the statistics, they outplayed Kenya in every other department. We were just resilient, and the fans, the 12th man, carried us from minute 1 to the finish. I don't think that Senegal will really outshine or play better than Morocco. Morocco will be there, will dominate possession, shots towards goal. And if they are clinical and take advantage of those shots, then they will beat Senegal. I saw the game, Senegal versus Uganda, and Uganda were better by far.
Exactly.
They had 16 attempts, as opposed to only 10 for Senegal. We look at the shots on target, only 2 for Senegal, 7 for Uganda. Uganda were good. Uganda were just not lucky in front of goal. They were not clinical. One of the contenders for the player of the tournaments, that is Alan Okello, who right now he's a hot cake.
Very hot,
with
very
regional clubs from Simba to Gor Mahia, FC Leopards. They all want his signature because he's so good. And on that day, he was on it. His tail was up. He almost scored in that game. And I really wish that Uganda had beaten this Senegal side for them to qualify for the semi-finals. But then that did not come. The onus was on Senegal. I believe they were lucky in that game. I don't think luck will fall on them again this evening. Morocco will have those intricate passes. They're playing so well. They've grown in stature. I saw their game against DRC. And when DRC, at Nyayo Stadium, when DRC equalized that first goal in the first half, in the second half, we saw a totally different Morocco side.
Just
a totally different Morocco side.
Write your points down. Let me finish. I'm coming to you.
Also take the pointers that I'm trying to give.
Don't write me down.
Okay.
No, I'm waiting.
Please continue. Note them down.
You need
I saw
to enter
a different kind of Morocco. They played a different game in the first half, and they were totally different side in the second half. Now those intricate passes, they became direct, and they scored 4 goals in the second half. 1 was choked out. And this team, they've really grown in stature. Remember, they were the first country to come to East Africa. Yeah. They were prepared enough. If there's any team which prepared in this tournament, it is Morocco. And hata God haizikubali. Itakuwa ni ngumu sana. It will be very difficult for Senegal to beat Morocco. Yeah.
Alan, you wanted to say something.
First of all, God
no, you know, preparation is just like Kenya. It's just like Kenya versus Madagascar. Madagascar have been to quarterfinals in 2019.
Exactly.
They were in the semifinals in 2022, and they've been preparing. In the last decade, they had the president of CAF coming from Madagascar. So in terms of development, they are far off than Kenya. We fell off during that period, and we punched beyond our expectations. How we performed very well, getting 7 points. When is the last time Kenya had 7 points in group stages?
Really, you're talking about 7 points. Me, I'm talking about when is the last time Kenya made it to the knockout stages.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
So, yes.
I was telling Mutiso, Mutiso is disagreeing with me by agreeing with me. We have said almost the same thing.
He's a fan in denial.
We have said that, yes, Morocco will play the better football and Sudan will play the better football. But one thing we're disagreeing is, and Mutiso knows this, remember, 3 times, this is a 3 times champion. You have to know, in a tournament, it's not like a league. In a tournament, it's not about who has better football.
You're right.
It is luck that wins the game. It is also the big moments, the big players Senegal have Omar Ba. You know, he's going to take his chance when he gets it. And we have seen it everywhere.
The top scorer of the tournament is from Morocco.
We don't disagree. We know it's very little in front of goal, but you forget one thing. Senegal will pounce when it matters. I'm telling you, Mutiso, we'll meet tomorrow and Senegal, and we'll be talking about Senegal versus Seychelles in the final. And you know the winner already.
Versus
I'm
Madagascar.
telling you, Senegal is going to win this CHAN. One simple thing. Least goals scored the whole tournament in the knockout stages, and they are here.
And Morocco, they're the highest scorers with 9 goals.
Exactly.
Considered
so,
3 goals.
according to you, in tournament football, who does this favor more? Mutiso.
Morocco.
One has more goals, one has less goals. Come on, you've seen Chelsea win it like this.
No.
That
was a different ball game. You cannot compare games like that.
Why?
It will be very difficult for...
It's tournament football.
It will be very difficult for Senegal to win this match. This Morocco side, they're just... they have the psychological edge.
And they don't have the psychological edge. They don't have any.
They do. You know very well.
Morocco.
It was by pure luck.
Morocco hapa Kenya. Tulipoa red card. They lacked the psychological edge to overcome Arambe Stars.
Our fans.
Sasa, Senegal, no listen. Senegal
they pushed that team.
Senegal went against Uganda, who also had a 12th man, and they were eager to represent East Africa. And still, Senegal striked, no extra time, no nothing. Morocco stumbled at Kasarani with a one-man advantage. That is not mentality. They do not have the mentality. You're not talking about Kina Ziyech. We are talking about Morocco.
In the last group stages, I'm not was Senegal assured of quarterfinal berth?
Probably.
It was not for Uganda coming to draw towards the end.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. In this tournament, the luck is on Senegal.
The luck comes way much later. Let's agree to disagree. Let's agree to disagree. The match will be tonight.
Exactly.
We'll see how it goes.
Ana kwa ana.
I will still believe that it will be Sudan versus Morocco. An Arab derby this evening, as opposed to Madagascar versus Senegal.
So
one thing, don't get it wrong, Katela.
Okay.
I'm really rooting for Sudan. Let me tell you, a country of over 45 million people coming together behind Sudan. I really want them to win. However, in my experience of football, my little experience, of course, compared to you as Mutiso, I've grown up in a place where I've seen, for tournament football, it's always that underdog who strikes at the big moment. I'm telling you, there was no way on earth that I expected Madagascar to beat us on our home turf. But they did it, and they did it with precision, with composure.
They did not beat us, they eliminated us through penalties.
Okay, my point
there's a huge difference. The way Uganda and Tanzania were knocked out, and Kenya.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping all the best.
Hii discussion tutamaliza.
Nishakwambia.
We can talk about football till tomorrow.
So no tupange. Usipotuambia tutulie.
Mtaargue mpaka kesho. Now, for viewers, remember the question of the day. Which team do you think will play the finals come Saturday to the Kasarani Stadium? I can see people on social media. They are saying Rashi anasema Sudan will play Morocco in the finals. Meshak David is saying Sudan and Senegal. Keep them coming in, your predictions. And then let's go back to Sudan. Sudan being a good team. I think we had a bite from the Sudan coach. We had a bite from the Sudan national team coach. Let's hear what he had to say about the team in this tournament.
The journey has not been easy, but once we've qualified to the quarterfinals, automatically we know it's going to be a big game. Unfortunately, only one of our players doesn't feel well, but hopefully, we never know, maybe tomorrow he will be okay. But saying that, we are fully prepared to give Madagascar and people of Tanzania a very good game to watch. Tactically, you know, you have to decide on which team am I playing with, what kind of players do I have, how is the situation like. There are so many factors that you put into consideration, you know, when you go into such a game. And this is a semi-final game, and as I said earlier, it's not going to be easy. is going to make sure we fight to the end.
I think Sudan are very much ready, and the coach is believing in his players that they will play the final come Saturday. Now, something has been happening. We've talked about the Madagascar and the Kenyan match that we were knocked out. About the second goal, we saw Mike Sonko went to appeal, but and there was a lot of controversial on social media about others were saying game inarudiwa, oh Kenya tacheza semi-finals. Just to make it clear, Alan, do you think that something what Mike Sonko is doing can really happen? Si game isha imeisha?
Absolutely. No offense to Mike Sonko, yote tunajua Mike Sonko has always been mtetezi wa haki.
Yes.
Anapenda kuingilia kusaidia watu, but when it comes to CAF do not absolutely care about someone called Mike Sonko. To CAF, once the final whistle is blown, it's done. In fact, the most that can happen is if themselves decide to probably suspend the referee according to them, not because of an appeal. They have their own team that deals with that. They look at it and they say, no, this was unfair officiating, you're going to deal with it our way. However, it's nice from Sonko to think that he can pull such magic. It's nice also because, okay, but it's quite sad when politicians do not do their research on these things. You know, it becomes a question of who is advising them, because once the game is done, it's absolutely done. This is not Sakaja Cup. This is not Babadogo Foundation Cup. This is even the Premier League. Ikisha imeisha. So, let's stop looking for clouds who are Harambee Stars. Tunaipenda, ndio kila mtu ako huko, but come on, let's focus on the next. World Cup qualifiers are coming. We heal, AFCON.
Move on.
Inshallah.
At least I can now agree.
You can now at least
because this is not a village tournament. I mean, this is not a Kothbiro, an estate tournament. This is the CAF, African Nations Championship. This is a big event. It's a global event. It's a continental event. And the only times that a game can be played is when that game never ended. Then they will pick up from that last minute.
Exactly.
If that game was abandoned because of fan trouble, the weather, those are the only times that a game can be replayed. And the replay always happens the very next day.
Exactly.
It's too late right now. And what our former governor is trying to do, and everyone else who are trying to mislead the public, they're just trying to whip emotions of Kenyans.
Exactly.
And that's not right. This game cannot be replayed under the circumstances that we saw that game because of officiating. The only thing that CAF can do is after their own review, then they see that the referee was culpable in match manipulation, of which I think that was not match manipulation.
Exactly.
The VAR was just not used to perfection that day.
Exactly.
And the VAR has been brought to eliminate human error. And that day, it was just
a question of human error.
Yeah, it's just a question of human error. It cannot be replayed, that game. It's just too little too late. And what they're trying to do, Mike Sonko is not even a member of CAF. So that that statement is dead on arrival. CAF cannot even listen, in fact, cannot even give it a hearing.
I don't think they even looked at it.
Yes, they don't even look at it because they have their own team which reviews the videos, which reviews the VAR. And since it's a couple of days since that game and no statement from CAF has been removed, it means that they are satisfied with the way that match was officiated. And for me, I think the officiating in this tournament has been top-notch. Kudos to CAF. The referees that they brought in Kenya, they were up to that task. And the officiating and the VAR has been used to perfection. Apart from, I believe, that's my own opinion, that it was not used to perfection against Madagascar.
All right, just to make it clear, my fans, the match cannot be replayed. Haiwezi we just move on. We focus on the 5th September and 9th. Sindio? Let's focus on that. Now, just a quick one. Uko na kadi zako, right?
Yes, I have my own card.
Atakusaidia nazo, don't worry, Alan. Tulia.
Anajua ningeuka.
Relax, ama tuanze na wewe?
Hapana, acha aanze.
Tuanze. All right, Mutiso.
My red card.
And ama unapeana red card ama yellow?
I'm giving out a red card today. This goes out to all the people from the senior journalists, the ones who are trying to manipulate or whip emotions from Kenyans, that that game can be replayed. That cannot be replayed. I think their advisors are misadvising them. This also goes out to the ones who are trying to whip emotions of the Harambee Stars players, that they have rights to get some share of the money that CAF gave the federation. That game is for development. Right now, the country has been united by football, as we've seen also in what it's trying to do, what it's doing in Sudan. The guns go silent whenever Sudan are playing. And right now, it's a time to embrace the players. Right. I've seen some people trying to troll the players who missed their penalties. Yeah. That's not right. We have crunch matches coming up. We need to finish strongly in the World Cup qualifiers. And for me, Benny McCarthy is one of the best things that has ever happened to Kenyan football right now, yet. And I really hope that Kenya gives him an open checkbook, like what we saw Sudan do to Kwesi Appiah, and we can see the results right now.
Alan, in less than a minute, nani anakula kadi?
Just a red card to anyone who tried to manipulate Kenyans into thinking that Harambee Stars did not do their best, because they absolutely went overboard with this performance. And finally, a red card to any content creator, senior sports journalist, politician who tried to manipulate our emotions, who tried to talk bad in the comments of our players, trolling them. It's a red card to them. We should come together as a country, because, mind you, we have the World Cup qualifiers coming. We have the Sekafa in our country. All the AFCON is coming to Kenya. Our World Cup qualifiers are in Kasarani. When is the last time you attended a qualifier in Kasarani? Let's come together, because, Mutiso, it's about to go down. Kenya is changing. At least for the first time, Melewana. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Innocent Mutiso. Thank you so much, Alan Nzuki. We meet here tomorrow, and I think sijui kama trophy itakuwa area. You let me know kama yeah. So tomorrow, CAF, yo kikombe itakuwa hapa. So we meet here tomorrow 1:30. I am Katila Macy. See you tomorrow.